The Odyssey, 2026, directed by Christopher Nolan, adapts Homer's legendary Greek epic into a grand cinematic adventure. The story begins after the end of the Trojan War, where the brilliant warrior Odysseus, king of Ithaca, longs to return home to his wife Penelope and his son Telemachus. Although the war is over, the gods are still angry, and Odysseus' long journey home becomes a brutal test of intelligence, courage, and endurance. As Odysseus and his remaining soldiers sail across the sea, they encounter violent storms that scatter their fleet. The ocean itself seems cursed, with every island hiding a new danger. Instead of a straightforward voyage, the crew is forced into a series of deadly adventures where survival depends on Odysseus' leadership and quick thinking. One of the first major challenges comes when they land on the island of the Cyclops. Ignoring warnings, the men enter a giant cave and become trapped by the monstrous Polyphemus. After several sailors are killed, Odysseus devises a clever escape by blinding the Cyclops and hiding beneath sheep. Although they escape, Odysseus' pride leads him to reveal his name, earning the wrath of the sea god Poseidon. Poseidon begins relentlessly hunting Odysseus across the seas. Every attempt to sail home is met with gigantic waves, terrifying storms, and destroyed ships. The once confident king realizes that defeating monsters is easier than escaping the anger of a god. The survivors eventually reach the island of the enchantress Circe. At first she transforms many of Odysseus' men into animals, but with divine help, Odysseus resists her magic. He convinces Circe to restore his crew, and they remain on the island for a time before continuing their journey with valuable guidance. To prepare for the dangers ahead, Odysseus descends into the underworld. There he meets the spirits of fallen warriors and receives a prophecy about his future. The dead warn him that reaching Ithaca will require painful sacrifices and that even victory will come at a terrible cost. Following the prophecy, the crew sails past the deadly sirens, whose beautiful songs lure sailors to destruction. Odysseus has his men plug their ears with wax while he is tied to the ship's mast so he alone can hear the song without steering the vessel toward certain death. His determination allows the crew to survive another impossible challenge. Their voyage grows even more dangerous when they must pass between Scylla, a terrifying sea monster, and Charybdis, a massive whirlpool capable of swallowing entire ships. Odysseus chooses the path that sacrifices only a few men instead of losing everyone, showing the heartbreaking decisions required of a true leader. Disaster strikes again when exhausted crew members ignore warnings and slaughter the sacred cattle of the sun god Helios. As punishment, Zeus destroys their ship with a mighty thunderbolt. Every sailor dies except Odysseus, leaving him alone to face the endless sea. Washed ashore, Odysseus reaches the island of the nymph Calypso. She falls deeply in love with him and offers him immortality if he stays forever. Although tempted by eternal life, Odysseus cannot forget his family and homeland. After years of captivity, the gods finally order Calypso to let him leave. Meanwhile, back in Ithaca, Penelope struggles to protect the kingdom from arrogant suitors who believe Odysseus is dead. They pressure her to choose a new husband while consuming the kingdom's wealth. Telemachus, now grown, begins searching for news of his father and prepares himself to defend his family's honor. Odysseus is eventually rescued by the Phaeacians, who recognize his suffering and help him complete the final leg of his journey. Disguised as an old beggar upon arriving in Ithaca, he secretly observes how much his kingdom has changed and discovers the corruption caused by the suitors. With help from Telemachus and a few loyal servants, Odysseus prepares a plan to reclaim his throne. Penelope unknowingly creates a contest involving Odysseus' legendary bow, believing that only her true husband could ever string it. Every suitor fails, while the disguised Odysseus easily succeeds, revealing his true identity. An intense final battle erupts inside the palace. Odysseus and Telemachus fight side by side, eliminating the suitors one after another. After years of hardship, betrayal, and loss, Odysseus finally restores justice to Ithaca and reclaims his rightful place as king. The film concludes with Odysseus reuniting emotionally with Penelope and fully embracing his family once again. Nolan presents the journey not simply as an adventure through mythical lands, but as a story about perseverance, sacrifice, wisdom, and the enduring desire to return home. The ending reminds viewers that true heroism lies not only in winning wars, but in surviving life's greatest trials without losing one's humanity.